Alright, let's get going. So today we are doing section 5.3. It's all about two-step inequalities. So our goal is to solve and graph two-step inequalities. You can see on the board after 5.4 comes 5.5, and then we'll be done with the chapter. So you do have reviews coming up, notebook quizzes coming up, chapter 5 tests coming up, so all coming at you real quick. Any questions before we get going? All right. You need to write all this information down. This is how we're going to do these two-step inequalities. Now, as you're writing this, you'll probably think, hey, this sounds really familiar. It's actually the same exact way we solve two-step equations, like in Chapter 2 last semester. So you start by undoing, adding, and subtracting. Then we undo multiplying and dividing. The only really new thing, we practiced this at the end of last week, when you multiply or divide by a negative number, you must flip the symbol. That is still going to happen when we're doing two-step equations. Make sure your variable's in the front. Graph it on the number line. Only if the directions say to graph. Like our warm-up didn't say to graph. The last page of your quiz yesterday didn't say to graph. So if it doesn't say to graph, just leave the answer like x greater than 3. But if it says then graph, you also have to do the number line part. So I'll give you a couple minutes to get all that down, and then we'll look at some examples. Alright, problem number 1. Notice the directions say solve and graph, so we're going to have to do both on these. How should I start this one? Subtract 9. We want to undo addition and subtraction first. And you can draw your line of equality if you like. So minus 9 from the left side, minus 9 from the right side. The 9s are gone. I have 2x is greater than or equal to what? 8. Wonderful. Any questions on the first step? We'll call that step 1. Yes, that's step 2. What do you do with the 2x? Divide. Yes, 2x is actually multiplying 2 times x. You get rid of multiplying by dividing. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. So we have x. Do I flip the symbol when I divide by 2? No. What? It has to be negative. So in this case, no. The symbol stays the exact same. And 8 divided by 2 gives me a 4. So my answer here is x is greater than or equal to 4. Here we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, you can label all the numbers. You can label the important numbers. The graph is really up to you. As long as we can tell what you're talking about, that you have any knowledge of a number line, that's what we need from you. All right, what number am I going to circle? All right, so circle where the 4 is on the number line. Am I going to fill that in or leave it open? Fill it in. And then I want the numbers that are greater than 4. So is that to the left or to the right? To the right, so this way. What are your questions? All right, here's number 2. All right, what do I want to do first? Subtract 1. Yes, you want to undo the adding and subtracting first. So I'm going to undo adding 1 by subtracting 1. That leaves me with negative 4y is less than, what's negative 7 minus 1? Negative 8. They're both negative, so you add the numbers, keep the negative sign. Very good. Alright, so that's the first step. Any questions on the first step? What do I do next? Divide both sides by negative 4. What happens when you divide by a negative number? You flip it. So now it's y is greater than positive 2. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. Very good. That's what I want to graph. Remember, you can just put the important numbers. Put a circle where the 2 is on the number line. We're not going to fill this one in because it's not an or equal to, and we're going to shade into the right. That's where we're talking about y values. That's where the y values will be greater than 2. What are your questions? You're hungry? Okay, not so much a question. Any other questions? Because buy one, get one combos at Chick-fil-A, so, you know.
I had 3 of them the other side.
Why wouldn't you get 4 of them? Oh, they weren't buy one, get
No,
one.
I thought those were 3 of them.
Oh, nice. Okay. Any other questions? All right. Here is number 3. All right, how should I start this one? Yes, we want to get rid of the adding and subtracting first, so I'm going to add 2. Add 2. That leaves me with a divided by 3, the 2's are gone, is greater than 3. All right, what's the last step here? Multiply by 3. Remember, a number underneath a variable is division. It looks like a fraction. Some people think of it as a fraction, like a over 3. That's a divided by 3. We undo dividing by multiplying. I'm actually going to write my answer under the number line. I'm kind of low on space here. So I have a, flip or no flip? No flip. The number we multiplied by was positive, so we don't flip the symbol here. And 3 times 3 is 9. So here is my answer. A is greater than 9. So on your number line, you can do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Notice I only labeled the 0 and the 9 here. You can do that. You can label 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 if you want. You can keep going even further if you want. It's up to you. I need to see where your 0 is. Yes, that's kind of like the reference point. How does it relate to the 0? All right, and then we want the A's greater than 9, so greater is always to the right. Because numbers that would make this true are numbers like 10, 11, 12. Questions? All right, here's number 4. All right, what should I do first? Add what? Add 1. Very good. So that gives me 4 is less than or equal to 2x. Then what? Divide both sides by 2. That gives me 2 is less than or equal to x. Should I leave my answer like that?
Nope.
No, I want to write the x in the front and the 2 in the back. X was bigger here, X still needs to be bigger down here, so we're going to flip the way the symbol is facing. It's still an or equal to, so don't forget that line on the bottom, and then that's what we're going to graph. Alright, what first? Subtract 8. Yes, we want to undo addition and subtraction first. So I have negative c is greater than 9. Okay, what next? Divide by what? Negative 1. Yes, when I divide by a negative, I feel something happening in my brain. Yeah, that's when you have to flip. So c now is less than negative 9. So I want negative 9. Remember, the negatives are always to the left. So anytime you're graphing negatives, they're down on the left. This time I'm putting them all in there. Why not? Almost ran out of space there. Alright, circle that negative 9. Fill it in or leave it open? Leave it open. It's not an or equal to. And then where are the values less than negative 9? Less than is always to the left. Did you get that, boys? Left is always to the, less than is always to the left. Did you guys know that? Okay, great. Questions? We're doing 10 examples today. All right, number 6. How should I start this one? Subtract 8 from both sides. Very good. So I have 2x is less than or equal to 2. Then what?
Divide by 2 by both sides.
Very good.
That's 1.
Very good. So x is less than or equal to 1. That's what I want to graph. So not a lot of information on the number line. Alright, fill it in since it's an or equal to, and then am I going to the left or to the right? It's a less than or equal to, so is that to the left or to the right? Left. Go to the left. What are your questions? Alright, here's number 7. I am going to let you guys hold off on the graphs for the rest of these. I think you guys have enough graphs. We'll still do it on the board together, so we'll discuss the graph, but if you don't want to write the graph in your notes anymore, that's fine. We are in a shortened schedule today, so try to pick it up a little bit. Alright, you still need to write the problems though, so how am I going to start this one? Add 2. So that gives me 3x, because the 2's are gone, is less than 9. Then we divide. Any flipping? Nope. We divided by a positive. Whoop. A little carried away with my 3. We divided by a positive, so we're good. Alright, put your important numbers on the number line. We need the 0 and we need the 3. Circle the 3. Do not fill it in. It's not an or equal thing. It's not an or equal to, and then go to the left. How should I start this one? Yes, I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. That leaves me with negative 2x is greater than or equal to 10. Then what? Divide by negative 2. Uh-oh. I'm feeling uneasy. Yes, we got to make sure we flip the symbol because we multiplied or divided by a negative number. Positive 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. So this is my solution. I'm going to graph it on the board just so you can get a little extra practice seeing it, but you don't have to actually do it in your notes. Try to wrap these up. We are going to circle the negative 5 on the number line and fill it in because it's an or equal to, and then to the left. Any questions? All right, number 9. How should I start this one? Subtract 4 from both sides. Very good. So this is negative x is greater than negative 2. I had a positive minus a number that was bigger than that number, so we're going farther into the negative than we have, so we're into the negative 2 numbers. All right. What do I do next? Yeah, this is like a negative 1x, so I need to divide by negative 1. When you divide by a negative, we got to flip the symbol. So now it's a less than. It was a negative 2. I divided it by a negative 1. Now it's a positive 2. So I have 0, 1, 2. Again, this number line is just on the board. You don't need to squeeze it into your notes. Less than goes to the left. Questions? All right, last example of the day. Anyone remember these types? Yeah, we call these bodyguard problems because you have to get through that bodyguard on the bottom before you can mess with anything on the top. Okay, I compared it to like you have to get up the elevator to get to the penthouse. That's where the celebrities are. The X is like the celebrity. You got to get through that 3, the bodyguard, before you can get up to the penthouse and deal with the variable. Okay? How do I get rid of dividing by 3? I multiply both sides by 3. This gives me x minus 7. Now I'm up where I want to be. Okay, when you're getting through the bodyguard down at the bottom of the elevator, you're not changing anything about the top. So don't multiply these numbers up here by 3. Don't do anything crazy. Don't try to start by subtracting 7. You're not quite there yet, okay? You just got to get rid of the dividing by 3 first. Leave this one alone. Just rewrite it and deal with it later. Anyone know what negative 12 times 3 is? Negative 36. Very good. What's the final step on this one? Add the 7. Very good. Does anyone know what negative 36 plus 7 is? Negative 29. Very good. You can see this one doesn't require a graph. I'm not going to make you draw 29 on the graph, so we're good on this one. What are your questions on two-step inequalities?